Hello, comic book fans. Today we're talking about the Lost Fantasy issue 2. Now, I did the first issue a while ago, and I wanted to come back to this because it intrigued me enough to want to know more. And how the story is being told so far, it really has my attention because we're dealing with urban fantasy and we're dealing with it in a way which you get lore, but it's not really like overwhelming while introducing these new aspects and characters. And the story starts out with this freelancer assassin named Valkyrie, and she just got done pulling off some hit. And we're given, a little bit of who she is through her interaction with the guy who employed her in the first place and what she's kind of capable of doing on her own. And I really like her design as well. And the guy, he employed her, but he did not plan on actually paying her for the job, right? He was just going to make her kill somebody and then threaten her. And her response, I did not see coming. She was like, screw that. I already know that you have a history of screwing over your assassins. And she even goes as far as to say she has a sniper and demonstrates that by making him take out a few of this guy's guards. And it's done in the most boss way possible, and she does the classic like finger gun and just points out who she wants to be taken out. That reminded me of the movie Losers. If you remember Losers with Chris Evans, when he did the finger thing with the assassin with the sniper, that's really what it reminded me of. But we see the sniper himself, and this guy, he's not just some ordinary sniper gunman. This guy has magic, and we get backstory on who exactly he is and how it operates. He controls the bullet itself through magic, and he's actually one with the bullet itself, and he can smell and witness everything around him through that bullet. And their next mission was taking out Henry Blackheart, so we're given backstory on how he got hit in the first place from the first issue. And she won. At first she was down for killing him, but at the last second, as the bullet was going flying, she told him to stop, and he actually missed for the first time. So now we are given backstory on he was nearly assassinated by a past lover and her a partner associate, and that's how that went. Whoever hired them in the first place is probably the people behind this entire case, and he still gets hit in the head. Henry Blackheart still gets hit in the head. He's bleeding out rapidly, but somehow, some way, he still makes it to the deputy police officer he went in the woods with in the first place. And from that moment on, he is lucky enough to survive. Now, it's how he survives which is the unfortunate part. And it's not unfortunate that he survived, it's unfortunate on what took place and how he was able to survive in the first place, because his boss shows up and he tells him I should have been dead, and he tells him that Enzo is like avatar magic dragon of some sort. Enzo sacrificed himself to save Henry Blackheart and to stop the bleeding. So that's why it was unfortunate, because somebody still sacrificed themselves in the process. Luckily enough, the bullet itself was uncovered, and I believe it's pronounced Ballormancy is some form of magic in this world, and that's who the sniper was in the first place. Now, Henry legit would have been gone if his ex-lover didn't feel some form of guilt and like stop the bullet at like the last second itself. Now, since Henry Blackheart was nearly assassinated and he's been in the hospital, another agent was called down. Now, we're not given the specific backstory on the relationship of Henry Blackheart and this other agent, but we are given some idea that they are not particularly on good terms just based on the attitude and the mannerisms of Henry Blackheart when this other agent was mentioned. And this is a small town, so whatever's going on has everybody riled up, right? So like everybody's upset and getting mad because they don't know what's going on, and they have a right to feel that way, especially not knowing that you have another worldly war plot going on with people of magic and sorcery and monsters, etc. But this other agent is taking over the case, and he's trying to pretty much pick up where Henry Blackheart left off. And we even get to see his, mystical avatar of some sort. And it's like this giant polar bear, which is actually pretty cool. The magic that they show in this world, they don't explain everything 100%, but they display enough for you to get an idea. And that's really something I like. You get to put together the extra pieces yourself. Now, he saw this kid, I'm guessing it's a kid, and they were still there at the crime scene. I don't know if they just never moved, it was never found, but they run off into the night, and he tries to run after her. I'm guessing it was a she, runs after her or them, and he can't catch up. And so now we have a possible witness, or most indefinitely a witness, that just vanished out of nowhere. And Henry Blackheart is having a conversation with his boss, and we're not given any details on what does he mean by the truth, nothing but the truth, because I'm guessing something else happened that is not particularly being talked about just yet. But that's good story writing, because you're leaving the reader wanting more. Like, what do they mean by this, right? You're getting attached to them to an extent to where you are intrigued enough to want to know just the drama itself. That's one thing the story does very well. And the same deputy that was with Henry Blackheart and that was helping in the new agent, he gets captured and turned into this giant ogre monster. And he is set on the new agent. And when I was reading this, I'm like, what the heck happened? Because he was captured and then brought to the door, and then he just turns into this monster. And the new agent is being tossed out of windows. He's being knocked back and forth. He's like getting the snot kicked out of him. And, I give kudos to him because, he still tried to fight back, right? Like, he's somewhat of a veteran in this field for sure. But whatever this thing was, he just couldn't get a hang of it. And even with all his, moves and techniques and, powers of such, sorcerer magic, this thing was just a tank. And he couldn't get a hang of it. And it wasn't until, Henry Blackheart shows up and saves him that is actually taken down. Mostly because of a sneak attack, I would say, to be fair. Because this agent, he was giving it his best, but he got caught and he was just getting absolutely destroyed. This thing was moving like Hulk, but like a mystical magic version, demon version. Like, nothing he was doing could even calculate to put a scratch on this thing. And the how the fight was orchestrated, I felt like it was very nice. It was very simple as well. And we finally see Henry Blackheart show up with his giant sword. Freaking looks like he looks like that sword is Clouds from Final Fantasy. Like, that sword is straight out of Final Fantasy, is straight out of Berserk with Dragon Slayer. Like, that's like the signature sword right there. When it comes to like the white-haired fantasy character, he has to have that massive sword. It's a trope for sure, but it works, right? And so we are given more details on somewhat at least of what's happening. And we see another ability that Henry Blackheart actually has. And he got a glimpse of the figure that is most likely the head of this entire situation, and they're onto Henry Blackheart and they're trying to stop them from solving this case. And Henry Blackheart's his eyes turn red, and we don't know like why. But then the final page in the story, he says, "I'm fine," but he takes the sword and tries to slice, this agent in half. Luckily, he moved out the way. But now I'm left wondering, like, holy crap, did he just get possessed? Right? Like, what just happened here? Did he just do that because he doesn't like the guy? And that is something that is going to have to be shown in issue 3, which will be coming very soon. And that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching the video. Like, share, and subscribe for more. And thank you for watching.